Hello everyone, and greeting to our PBI1092 lecturer, Madam Emichon. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Vivien and Bennet with metric number 77109, and my group members Valerie Minah and with metric number 77056, and anak Basil with metric number 7966X. We are from Group 2. Our topic for today's presentation is the process of developing COVID-19 vaccine. What is coronavirus? According to World Health Organization, coronavirus is illness caused by a novel coronavirus called severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, which was first identified amid an outbreak of respiratory illness cases in Wuhan, China. This virus causes mild to severe respiratory illness, including death. What about vaccine? Vaccination is a simple, safe, and effective way of protecting people against harmful diseases before they come into contact with them. Vaccine use our body natural defenses to build resistance to specific infections and make our immune system stronger. Equitable access to safe and effective vaccines is critical to ending the COVID-19 pandemic, so it is hugely encouraging to see so many vaccines proving and going into development. Many different public organizations and private companies have worked together to make COVID-19 vaccine available to the public, who is working tirelessly with partners to develop, manufacture, and deploy safe and effective vaccine. While COVID-19 vaccine have been developed rapidly, all steps have been taken to ensure the safety and effectiveness. This figure shows the 5 processes of developing COVID-19 vaccine. The first process of developing COVID-19 vaccine is initial development. New vaccines are first developed in laboratories. The virus that causes COVID-19 is related to other coronavirus that cause disease such as severe acute respiratory syndrome SARS and Middle East respiratory syndrome MERS. Long before SARS was discovered, scientists had been researching different coronavirus in order to create vaccine against them. Knowledge gathered from previous coronavirus vaccine studies and in the early development of the current COVID-19 vaccine. So, that the first process of developing COVID-19 vaccine, which is initial development. Here now is Valerie Minah. She is counseling students. She will present about the second and the third process of developing COVID-19 vaccine. Valerie?
Thank you, Vivien. Hello everyone, I am Valerie Minah with metric number 77056, and I'm going to talk about the second and the third process of developing COVID-19 vaccine. The second process is clinical trials. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, thousands of volunteers of all ages and races have participated in clinical trials for COVID-19 vaccination. Vaccine clinical trials compare outcomes such as how many individuals become sick between those who have been vaccinated and those who have not been. After initial development, vaccines go through 3 phases of clinical trials to make sure they are safe and effective. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), at the first phase of clinical trial, a limited number of volunteers are given the vaccine to assess its safety, confirm that it produces an immunological response, and identify the proper dosage. Vaccines are often tested at this phase on young, healthy adult volunteers. For the second phase, hundreds of volunteers are then administered the vaccine to test its safety and potential to elicit an immunological response. People in this phase share the same characteristics such as age, and sex as the people who will get the vaccination. During this phase, several age groups and vaccine formulation are routinely evaluated in many studies. A non-vaccinated group is generally included in phase as a comparative group to see if the changes in the vaccinated group are due to the vaccination or whether they occur by the accident. Lastly, in the third phase, to determine if the vaccine is effective against the disease, it is designed to protect against and to study its safety in a much larger group of people. The vaccine is then given to thousands of volunteers and compared to a similar group of people who did not get the vaccine but received a comparative product. The majority of Phase 3 trials are done across numerous nations and numerous sites within a nation to ensure that the vaccination performance findings are applicable to a wide range of individuals. Next is the third process of developing COVID-19 vaccine, which is emergency use authorization. The FDA evaluates the result of clinical trials before making vaccinations available to individuals in real-world situations. FDA is known as Food and Drug Administration. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA scientific requirements for vaccination safety, efficacy, and quality are well known across the world. During public health emergencies, like as the current COVID-19 pandemic, an emergency use authorization (EUA) is a system that facilitates the availability and use of medical countermeasures, including vaccinations. Manufacturers determine whether and when to submit an EUA request to the FDA, taking into account FDA feedback. FDA will examine an EUA request once it has been submitted and assess whether the applicable statutory criteria have been satisfied, taking into consideration all scientific data on the vaccination that is available to FDA. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, so far they've judged that 3 COVID-19 vaccines match the FDA safety and efficacy requirements, and they've given them emergency use authorization. That's all for the second and third process of developing COVID-19 vaccine. Here now is Ted Wen and Basil Kevin. He will present about the fourth and the fifth process of developing COVID-19 vaccine. Ted?
Thank you, Valerie. The next step is manufacturing and distributions. The US government has invested substantial resources for both manufacturing and distributions of COVID-19. This has allowed manufacturing to begin when the vaccine are still in the third phase of the clinical trials so that the distributions can begin as soon as the FDA has authorized each of the vaccine. As vaccines are distributed outside the clinical trials, several monitoring systems continue to track them to ensure their safety. Millions of people have received COVID-19 vaccines, and the results from ongoing safety vaccines monitoring efforts are reassuring. Some people have no side effects. Many people have reported mild side effects after COVID-19 vaccination, like pain or swelling at the injection site, a headache, chills, or fever. These reactions are common. A small number of people have severe allergic reactions called anaphylaxis after vaccination, but this is extremely rare. If this occurs, vaccination providers have medicine available to treat the reaction effectively and immediately. No unexpected patterns of reaction or other safety concerns have been identified during the early vaccine safety monitoring. CDA and FDA continue to closely monitor several reporting systems like the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System (VAERS), Vaccine Safety Data Link (VSD), and vSafe, which help for any safety issues that now the vaccines are being given to the patients in the real world setting across the country around the world.